Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Melissa with Enchanted Emerald bringing you a reading for Pisces for love for the week of August 1st through August 8th, 2026. This is Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. And so tapping into this energy here, we have the Ace of Swords, the Justice card, the Eight of Cups, the King of Swords, and the Knight of Cups coming up for you, Pisces, out of the Light Seers Tarot today. And so feeling as though this is an energy where you need to kind of reinvent your love life and really come at things from a different angle. I think in the past you had a tendency to maybe rush into things and not really pay attention to that slow, steady build that really gives you an idea of what the person is truly about, making sure you have a solid foundation and making sure that you're open to seeing some of those red flags that kind of show up in that stage. But I think that this is moving you into a space where you're seeing it from a different angle, being that you're open to different viewpoints and perspectives. I think in the past you could have been a person to kind of go in whatever direction the wind is blowing, so to speak, in terms of you allowing external circumstances to kind of dictate your feelings, right? Opinions of others dictate your choices and your decisions on things. And I think that this is going to be more about you adopting new life habits and taking control of the situation, really looking at some of the patterns that have been repeating within your dating life so that you can work to actively change that. And I think with this, it's ability to kind of see through things and understand that you can still be a cohesive unit with someone, even though you have different beliefs or perspectives, right? It's understanding that you can still share that vision, you can still remain loyal, and you can still work within that different viewpoint and perspective that each of you have. And in fact, it could enhance it, each of you having different beliefs and viewpoints, because then it works to your ability to be able to mesh well together in terms of like one having some really good strengths that the other might not have as a strength but has as a weakness instead. And so you kind of work well as a team in that way. And I think that this love that's coming in for you, Pisces, it really might be a little bit unconventional. In fact, I think others might view you and this person as a bit of an odd pairing, but I think that this is coming to you rather quickly. It's coming out of nowhere. You weren't really expecting it. I think that it brings in a lot of stable, grounded energy with that, a lot of structure. And with this, it's understanding that it will look a lot different than the love dating patterns that you've had in the past, right? And so as long as you're actively approaching it differently, you can create a different dynamic and it can work out in a different way. It can work out for the better. And so, I think this is about you pushing beyond that rigid thinking, those rigid thinking patterns that you have, where you can have a tendency maybe to reason with yourself, to allow yourself to rationalize staying in a situation that it really isn't meant for you, right? It's, if you're looking for evidence to support your view, you'll find it, right? And so this is really about understanding that you're going to be pushing beyond your comfort zone, being able to see others' viewpoints and being open to see that, and being open to new concepts. And I think that you're no longer going to be taking things quite as personal when it comes to the dating life. So you realize that if there's no risk, there's no reward. And so you have to put yourself out there, be able to put yourself out there in a way that if you were to be rejected, you could view that differently than taking that so personal and being upset or angry or sad by that. Understand that okay, isn't your person, and rejection is God's protection, right? And so, and then moving forward from that. Now, what comes in with this is this song, Islands in the Stream. It's like the Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton theme song, or, song. And I think that this is a theme song for you. Yeah. So that it's understanding that you can't really bring your past experiences with you through this. You have to really be willing to surrender and to let go of all of that and go with the flow when it comes with with this new dating pattern that you're working on, because it's really going to separate you from who you were to who you're becoming, right? And I think that this is about having a lot of faith that things will work out, faith that you don't need to rely on others' viewpoints and opinions to help you to make these decisions. You have to rely on your deep intuition, your gut feelings, and your inner knowing, right? This is shifting you entirely. And I think that is when you decide that you're no longer going to allow those external circumstances influence your love life or influence you as a person. And so you no longer seek that support, seek that validation from others. And so I think it may not look like what you think it will. Okay. And that could be the person may not look like what you would think that you'd be with, someone you'd be with, or it may not come in the way that you would think that it would come in. And I think that this is a very specific part of the read for someone, but I'm feeling like Times Square, you're there for a business meeting, and it's some sort of a chance meeting with this person, and things kind of evolve from there, right? But I think ultimately just being open to what's coming in for you, that was just a specific message for someone. But I think this is really bringing you, with this energy, a new offer of love, or if you're in an existing relationship, it's really going to be pushing you to take things to the next level. So this is about being judicious, honoring where you're allocating your time, and making sure you have a work-life balance, making sure you have time to invest into this situation or into this person. It's choosing this person, right? Making that commitment, making sure your actions and your words align, right? Not being impulsive, but really thinking and being deliberate and intentional about what you're doing and who you're choosing. And I think this, going into this cautiously, is a good thing because it allows you to have that slow build so that you can make sure there's a solid, grounded, stable foundation that is a lot of green flags and not so many red flags, right? And so moving into this, I think that this is going to be a space where you would benefit from allowing a friendship to build out of this first. And I think that is just really taking time to really enjoy each other's company and really enjoy your time with one another. And I think that slow progress is really going to build into something that's long lasting. I do think this is going to be like a virtue-based love, meaning you're going to be focused very much on one another's well-being instead of like instant gratification, right? So focusing more on being open and honest in communication, even when it's hard, even when it's difficult to find the words to express how you're feeling, but being open with that and being open about where you're being triggered by something, right? So that you aren't bringing your past into this and allowing it to affect this beautiful opportunity before you. And I think it's about keeping your promises, right? Being patient, and definitely not acting on your emotions, especially when it's anger or when you're angry. And so I think this is really just asking you, Pisces, is this something that you're willing to do? Are you willing to rise to this occasion? Because I think if you are able to work through all of this and do this, it will be very effective. I think that there's a chance for this love to really defy gravity, right? Like to really feel uplifting, to feel light, and to really overcome the odds. And so I love that for you, Pisces. And if you've made it this far in this reading, thank you so much to each and every one of you. If you could just let me know that you made it this far, do me a favor, put a little red heart in the comment section below, or say hi, tell me where you're from. And if you're interested in hearing any of the future readings, don't hesitate to like and subscribe so you're in the know of all the new content as it's posted. As always, I will be back with another read for you guys again soon. Thank you so much. Take care.